I just love Christmas. Most of the video games I had as a kid were given to me by Santa. In a strange twist of fate though, for the Christmas of 1991 I didn't ask for a Nintendo nor a Super Nintendo game. Instead, I asked for one for the Sega Master System. Yup, you heard that right. By the end of 1991, the Sega Master System was just about dead in North America. Released in 1986, the system, while technically superior to the NES in some aspects, suffered from poor marketing and a lack of third-party support, which Nintendo had a stranglehold on. While there were some quality first-party titles available, by the time Sega released the Genesis in 1989, the Master System was relegated to being a game console for budget titles and lower quality ports of arcade titles and games you could also play in the Sega Genesis, such as Golden Axe and Sonic the Hedgehog, which was the last Master System game released in the US. For some reason, I had a strange interest in the Sega Master System as a child. I knew plenty of kids who owned the Genesis, but no one with the Master System. I decided I wanted one. Maybe it was an interest in the unknown, or it could have been the dawn of my interest in retro games. In the fall of '91, I remember going to a yard sale where an older man was selling a Sega Master System and a bunch of games. I asked my father to purchase it for me, but he didn't. Later, we tried going to Toys R Us to get one, but they were out of stock. The only thing they had was the demo display unit behind the glass, but my father didn't want to take a chance on it, thinking it might be broken, so I was out of luck again. But the quest continued. We traveled down the road to the smaller toy store, Kitty City. However, the original Sega Master System wasn't available here either, only the newer Model 2. What's the difference? The Master System 2 was a stripped-down, budget version of the original console. Like the NES top loader, the system was redesigned to be smaller and sleeker than the original. And like the top loader, various features were removed to cut down on the production cost. Gone is the AV composite output, leaving only the inferior RF connection. Also gone is the card port, so you'll no longer be able to play the card games nor use the 3D glasses. They even removed the power LED, reset button, and even the famous Startup Sega logo and sound. Blasphemy! But by 1991, if you wanted a Master System and couldn't find one at a yard sale, this was really the only choice. So here I was with the Sega Master System 2, but what games to get for a system I was barely familiar with? Well, I remember playing Rampage on the NES and I saw it for cheap at Kitty City, so I picked that up. And Christmas is coming up soon, so I asked for Rastan, a game I loved playing in the arcades as a child. However, I never got a chance to play this, nor even open it. After Christmas, I decided I really wanted to get a Super Nintendo system, which was new. And I didn't have enough money from Christmas in order to purchase it. So what to do? I asked my father, but he said, no, I'm not going to get it for you. You're going to have to sell all your Christmas gifts in order to have the money to purchase it. It was a tough decision, but unfortunately, that's what I did. So goodbye, Rastan. Goodbye, Christmas presents. But it was a valuable lesson. I learned the value of $1, I suppose. It's not like Christmas was totally ruined. No, not at all. No, you know what? I forgive my father. He was teaching me a valuable lesson. Everything's fine now. We're just going to move on with the review. Okay, sure. Alright, we're going to go over the game that was built into the Sega Master System 2, in the US at least. We're going to talk about Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Here we go, Alex Kidd in Miracle World, the first game of the series. From the title screen you can see a little bit of what to expect in the game. Platforming, swimming, vehicles, and the bubble with a tree. The story is that you have to defeat the evil Jankin while finding 5 treasures along the way to restore peace to the land. So you're Alex, who's either a horrifying human Munchie experiment gone wrong, or a Vulcan boy monkey. And for some reason you're wearing a skeevy disco outfit. Alex Kidd in Miracle World was Sega's attempt at their own Super Mario Bros. Game, except it doesn't come close. You don't jump on enemies to kill them, but have a giant fist attack to take out enemies. It looks like Alex's hand was stung by a bee. The game consists of Alex making his way through the levels punching enemies. But you're better off just avoiding them since Alex moves way too quickly. And since the fist attack doesn't have much distance, you can easily kill yourself just trying to get into position to take out the enemies. But come on. Why is this so hard? You have to walk on a razor's edge just to kill a common enemy. Not that it's interesting anyway. They're just birds, goofy fish, whatever this thing is, frogs, bats, and scorpions. No real thought went into the enemy design nor how they even attack. Most just move in one direction or in a limited path back and forth. Woo! Party time in Miracle World! Woohoo! Except for this creature who bounces. What the fudge? Wait, that looks like... No, is that Sega trying to take a shot at Mario? It has to be! How about you use your extra creative energy to design a better game? Most of Alex Kidd consists of punching lots of boxes to get cash to buy power-ups, such as a staff to levitate you, or the best one, a power bracelet so you can shoot a wave of energy. It sure beats the fist attack! These boxes also sometimes have items, or sometimes ghosts will spawn and kill you. So unfortunately, you have to memorize which boxes the ghosts are in to avoid punching them. Oh, that's fun! No, it's not. It's annoying. I said the opposite of what it is. The levels are lazily designed with no real flow to them. You'd think that Alex's great speed would allow you to waltz through some, but no, you have to punch stones and blocks and then jump over them to get through many parts of levels. And then you come across more objects that block your way which you have to punch and get through. So why give Alex that super speed if you have to crawl through the levels? Oh man, it's hard to get rid of these blue balls. So annoying! That's blue ball joke number 17 if you're keeping score at home on the Pat the NES Punk official scorecard. Oh, I forgot to mention that through all of this, the attack and jump buttons are reversed from what you're used to in about 99% of games. Just to mess with you a little bit so you never really get used to it. One of the draws of the game, and its way to stand out, is giving you the ability to purchase vehicles. It's even the demo of the game! But if you get a vehicle, you can quickly lose it if you're not careful, which sucks out all the fun of it. Ah! Thanks! Oh come on, I thought that was a gumball power-up! What a waste of my monkey money! Not now, Junior. The vehicle levels aren't implemented that well anyway. For example, when you're in the helicopter, the game doesn't become a fun shooter with different enemies. You just face the same boring birds and have to precariously get around the red gumballs without the propellers hitting them. Or else you'll fall into the water and will have to slowly swim to finish the level. Oh, fun. But that's if you're lucky. There's also levels where you'll just fall and die in an ocean of shit. Enemy bosses do show up from time to time, but are simplistic and sucky. Oh, a bull that charges straight towards you. Great. A big dork with a sword that walks straight towards you too. Hey, why is that little guy attacking me? This is monkey on monkey violence. The big bosses of the game are Chakina, Guseka, and Parplin, with what looks like French fries for a head. And they challenge you to Jankin, better known as rock, paper, scissors. Yup, you have to play a game of rock, paper, scissors to defeat them and move on. What the hell is that? Imagine playing Castlevania, and when you get to Dracula, instead of fighting him, you play a game of 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. This grinds the action to an absolute halt. And the best part? If you lose 2 out of 3, you lose a life. You don't get sent back, you don't get a do-over, you're dead. So if you're down to your last life, you can imagine how frustrating and fucking stupid it is to transition from an action platformer to a game of chance to survive. And while you'll learn that the patterns aren't actually random when you play the game again and again, they might as well be the first time playing, especially to an 8-year-old. Alex Kidd in Miracle World, while having some decent ideas such as purchasing power-up items and vehicles, has issues which keeps it from being a game that I'll come back to. It aspires to convey an experience similar to Super Mario Bros., but unlike that classic title, it fails to create a living, breathing world with memorable creatures, sights, and sounds. At the time though, Alex Kidd was Sega's go-to guy, so they stuck Monkey Face here into 3 other games to try and form a franchise. Yeah, it didn't work out so well. As soon as Sonic came around in '91, Alex was shit-canned by Sega, relegated to the hell of used-up video game mascots, never to receive his own game again. Poor Alex. Creepy Munchie Vulcan monkey boy. I forgive Sega for making Alex Kidd in Miracle World. It wasn't the best game, but it was the only franchise Sega really had. You know, I'd like to forgive someone else now. Maybe if I wish, and I wish real hard.
What the hell? Where am I?
I forgive you, evil shop owner, for being an agent of Avgra, killing Rob, and almost killing Frank and me. Oh, and for charging above eBay prices on games.
You forgive me? You're the one who should be sorry. Frank broke my jaw and Oscar fired me. I can't make a living anymore. I have to do amiibo scalping and PS4 price matching schemes at Walmart. Have you ever tried looking yourself in the mirror after you clear all the deals out of a convention room before it even opens? Whatever. I don't feel bad about it. I just need to eat. I just need a place to sleep. I put the games in people's hands. I don't determine the prices. The market determines the prices. Who the hell do you think you are, Mr. Collector? I just take this cartridge and turn it sideways. Shove it right up your goddamn...
Well, I know someone who's getting a lump of coal in their stocking. Or an Emerson Arcadia game. Rampage, developed by Bally Midway and published by Activision, one of only a couple of third-party publishers on the Sega Master System in North America. Rampage originally was an arcade hit based upon giant monster movies like King Kong and Godzilla, where you have to destroy US cities by bringing down all the buildings by punching them. Players select from George, a giant gorilla, Lizzie, a giant lizard, and Ralph, a giant werewolf. Maybe his name should be Wreck-It Ralph. It's a single screen game and the object is simple. Go on a rampage and smash up all the buildings enough so that they collapse to the ground. The monsters can accomplish this by climbing up the sides of the building and punching in front, behind, or even above them. Where's Alex Kid in his fist attack to help? Players can climb to the top of the buildings to get around or even jump between buildings and grab onto them in mid-air. There are lots of enemies to watch out for that will slowly but surely drain your health. There's tanks, helicopters, taxis, trolleys, and lots of soldiers who will fire on the monsters and chuck dynamite at them. You can defend yourself by punching them or even eating them, which will partially restore your strength. Each of the 3 monsters can even carry around a certain type of person and then drop them and eat them whenever they want. Blondes have more fun. Blondes are more yum. Am I right? No, I'm most likely wrong in this matter. There are also food items hidden in the buildings which can be revealed when you punch them. These can be eaten to regain your health, but eating objects like toilets can be harmful, or if you touch a toaster. Once all the buildings in a level are destroyed, the game continues with the next one, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. You see a pattern? While the layouts of the high-rise buildings will differ and the number of enemies will gradually increase, there isn't much else of a difference between the levels. Even when you move on to another city, not much will change, except for maybe the background a little bit. There's no power-ups, no bosses to fight. That would have been cool if you got into a crazy monster battle, but no. The gameplay simply boils down to your ability to destroy the buildings and keep your health bar raised faster than the enemies can bring it down. That's it. While it's visually impressive and a solid adaptation of the arcade title, it's just as shallow an experience. Destroying cities is fine in short spurts, and a bit more fun if you have a second player to demolish them with, but after a while, even wrecking American cities can get a bit boring. I'm even getting bored with this review. I hope you didn't click off the video yet. It gets better, I think. I remember Rampage being the same gameplay experience when I was a kid. Fun for about, 10 minutes. Speaking of childhood memories, I wish...
What's going on? Patrick?
Denise, I forgive you for breaking my heart as a child and then trying to take advantage of me when I was older.
Who do you think you are? Just because you're a decent kisser you think you can have your monkeys attack me? You're lucky I have insurance. I should sue your ass. Oh, some special gamer and my Nintendo and my magical chase. And I have no life and I don't go outside and have any real friends.
The season feels less jolly every year. Well, time to finally play the game I was denied as a child, Rastan. I still forgive my father. Really. Rastan, developed by Taito and published by who else? Sega. Based upon the arcade side-scrolling action game, in Rastan you play as a Conan the Barbarian type who has to battle an evil horde in the fantasy world of Simia. Come with me if you want to live. No wait, that's not a Conan quote. Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, hear the lamentations of their women. Ah, that's better. Armed with a sword and a beefy pecs, Rastan will hack and slash his way through enemies who are liquefied upon death. Oh, how graphic. But there's more than one way to rid the world of Simians. Rastan can come across weapon upgrades. A mace with a longer reach, a more powerful axe, and a sword that can shoot fireballs. These are very handy in battle, although it's frustrating that they can be only used for a limited amount of time on the Simians. Controls, like the arcade, are pretty smooth. Moving, slashing, and jumping are all easy to pull off. The only aspect you have to get used to is figuring out the jumping height. Hitting the 2 button will jump normally. However, hitting 2 while holding up will result in a much higher jump. And this is what you'll end up using 90% of the time anyway. It's a shame that you can't control the distance easier by holding and releasing the jump button. But it's not a huge deal. You can still dispatch the Simians with relative ease. That's right, they live in Simia, so they're Simians. No, it's still not funny. Besides the standard attack, Rastan can perform both an upward and downward strike as well, which comes in handy. And in the levels he can climb up and down ropes to reach different areas, and swing on vines like Pitfall Harry on roids. It's unnatural! Like its arcade counterpart, this game is difficult. There are times when you'll get ganged up on or have trouble avoiding falling into pits or getting attacked while trying to swing around, but thankfully you can defend yourself on the vines. Frickin' fishes! The good news is that you have a decent sized health bar, and can pick up items to boost your defensive capabilities, and potions to replenish your health. But for some reason there are also red potions that drain it. Why? Why put a potion that harms you in the game? That's like opening up Christmas presents and discovering socks. Then you put on those socks and find out they're laced with hepatitis. But what do? We don't have health insurance because Covered California never approved your Obamacare application from 9 months back. So you're there suffering with foot hepatitis and you can't do anything about it. You know what, Pat? You give up a nice, decent paying office job, a job with good benefits, in order to do this online video crap. Hope you're happy now, Pat. Hope you're happy. Foot with hepatitis, maybe a cold sore too you can't get rid of. Great. Well, you made your bed, Pat. Now line it. Line that bed, Pat. That bed stained with red potions and Simians. What? Where was I? Oh, Rastan. So yeah, the difficulty is fairly high, but at least when you get hit by an enemy, you don't get bounced back like in Ninja Gaiden. Otherwise, crossing pits and water traps would be nuts. You only have 1 life, but are given a limited amount of continues to try again. So the challenge, while not impossible, is a high but acceptable level that will have you coming back again to hone your skills against the Simian horde. The enemies aren't that bad in design. Some are supposed to be based on mythology, and they appear to be, but others are strange. I don't remember reading the Odyssey and seeing sword things, mace things, and axe things. Yeah, the enemy's named after their weapon. And then there's the Reed Dragon. No, not Red, Reed. R-E-A-D, Dragon. I guess they never proofread what they wrote. Slackers! Let's look around the manual some more. Say! Check out Gorgon, Medusa, and Harpy. Alright, so not only do we have titties in an 8-bit game manual, but also bush! And not in the presidential sense. Okay, it's really feathers, not bush. But now we're just splicing hairs here. It's like a Christmas wreath. In terms of presentation, the graphics are solid with nice backgrounds and decent animation. There's even a cool day-to-night transition that occurs if you spend too long on a stage. Eventually, annoying creatures will arrive to harass you, like bats, bees, and Let's Players. Overall, Rastan is a smooth, fast-paced, and pretty fun hack and slasher, which does an admirable job translating the arcade experience to an 8-bit console. I'm sad to say I never got the chance to play it as a kid, but the nearly 25-year wait was worth it. No, not really. That was my overview of the Sega Master System 2 and my limited game experience as a child. Merry Christmas, everyone! As I've said in the past, 'tis the season for forgiveness and charity towards all. I just wish my father was around so I could finally forgive him for making me sell my presents.
How did I get here? Did I die again?
I wish that I could face my father and forgive him for making me sell my 1991 Christmas presents.
Do I look like your dad? You think I'd have a dweeb like you for a son? Now get me out of here so I can go back to making strufoli.
I'm not exactly sure how this works, Frank. I think it's the Christmas spirit.
You better get me out of here right now or I'll beat the Christmas spirit out of you.
That's not very jolly at all.
You want to see jolly, you little son of a... I can't believe you dragged me over in the middle of cooking. Everything's going to be ruined.
This isn't jolly, Frank.
Yeah, I'll give you jolly. Never do that again.
I'm sorry.
All right. You ruined it! The ruin the whole thing.
That's my game playing arm.
Never do that again.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Oh.
I'm gonna give you one more shot.